A closer look at the huge launch of 2022 SpaceX's Monster Falcon Heavy awakens. On January 3, 2022, a two-stage Falcon Heavy rocket launched 48 Starlink satellites into orbit from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The rocket's first stage then returned to Earth for a smooth touchdown at sea on the SpaceX drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas. The beast's last spaceflight was 2 years, 6 months, 22 days ago. After being dormant for over 2 years, SpaceX's powerful Falcon Heavy conducted this mission and is planning to take part in various other missions this year. Today we're going to talk about the huge launch of the 2022 SpaceX Falcon Heavy and its possible reawakening this year. I know we all have a lot of questions. Why was the Falcon Heavy not used for 2 years? Why has SpaceX chosen to use it now for future missions? Well, stick around till the end as we answer your questions and delve deeper into the Monster Falcon Heavy rocket. So let's begin. SpaceX completed a record-breaking launch manifest in 2021. It performed a total of 31 missions, the most annual launches to date. SpaceX's 2022 launch manifest is expected to beat last year's rocket launch record. Besides launching crew and cargo aboard Falcon 9 flights, the company will also conduct missions with its Falcon Heavy rocket. It is the world's most powerful operational rocket and the third highest capacity launch vehicle ever to reach orbit, following NASA's Saturn V rocket and Russia's Energia rocket, which are no longer operational. Falcon Heavy is comprised of 3 modified Falcon 9 first-stage boosters connected side by side, with a total of 27 Merlin 1D engines that are capable of producing 5.1 million pounds of thrust at takeoff. Falcon Heavy missions are always impressive to watch, especially when SpaceX recovers all 3 Falcon cores with synchronized propulsive landings. For its Starlink launch mission, the first stage booster assigned to the Falcon 9 mission was designated B1052 in SpaceX's fleet. Tracking booster assignments for SpaceX launches has become a pastime for space enthusiasts. But with SpaceX's rocket reuse program becoming more routine, the first stage used on most Falcon flights has become an afterthought, unless it's setting a new record. But the booster launched in February was noteworthy. The 15-story tall rocket stage was previously fitted with an aerodynamic nose cone and attachment fixtures when it flew as a side booster mounted to the side of a Falcon Heavy core stage on 2 missions in 2019. SpaceX officials said that Falcon Heavy side boosters and Falcon 9 first stages are interchangeable, but Falcon Heavy core stages carry additional structural stiffeners to support the load of 2 side-mounted boosters. That makes each center core specifically built for the Falcon Heavy. The launch Thursday with Italy's Cosmos SkyMed radar satellite marked the first time SpaceX flew a rocket converted in the other direction, from a Falcon Heavy to a Falcon 9. SpaceX's ground team removed the former side booster's nose cone and other unique hardware for its new role in the Falcon 9 fleet. Like its previous 2 flights, the booster was fired for more than 2 minutes before shutting down its Merlin engines and flipping around to fly back to Cape Canaveral. Touchdown and landing zone 1, located about 6 miles south of the Complex 40 launch pad, took place nearly 8 minutes after liftoff. The Falcon 9 rocket's second stage, brand new as it is for all Falcon missions, directed the Cosmos SkyMed satellite along a southerly trajectory parallel to Florida's east coast, targeting an orbit that took the spacecraft over Earth's poles. The launch vehicle has only performed 3 missions since its debut flight in 2018. The demonstration flight test that launched the iconic Tesla Roadster that carried the Starman mannequin to orbit on February 6, 2018. Yes, there is a literal car cruising out in our solar system. As of today, the Roadster is 230,752,755 miles from Earth, moving away from our planet at a speed of 11,392 miles per hour, according to tracking data by whereisroadster.com. The awe-inspiring launch demonstrated 3 core rockets can reliably launch a heavy payload to space. SpaceX's second Falcon Heavy mission deployed a telecommunications satellite for Arabsat in April 2019. The third and last flight took place on June 25, 2019. It launched the U.S. Department of Defense Space Test Program payload composed of 25 small spacecraft. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has been clear in stating that after accomplishing its first human launch, the company's primary focus going forward will be developing Starship, its next-generation spacecraft. Starship has been in development at SpaceX production and testing site in Boca Chica, Texas since 2019, and was also originally being developed by a second team in parallel in Florida. SpaceX combined the efforts and focused prototype builds in Texas late last year, and has been building a number of Starship prototypes using a model of rapid iteration. The spacecraft is designed to be a fully reusable vehicle that can support both crew and cargo configurations that can make trips to both Earth orbit and deep space destinations, including the Moon and Mars, when paired with the forthcoming SpaceX Super Heavy rocket booster. SpaceX eventually wants to replace both Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy with Starship, which should reduce costs by unifying its production lines and offering full reusability. Additionally, the size of the market for Falcon Heavy has remained unclear. Demand for large commercial satellites has dropped in recent years, with a sharp decline in orders for geostationary communication satellites in particular. Improvements to the Falcon 9, meanwhile, have allowed it to carry heavier satellites than originally envisioned, particularly when the rocket is flown in expendable mode. The lack of a high-performance cryogenic upper stage on the Falcon Heavy limits its capabilities far beyond Earth orbit missions as well. Musk said that the company won't be limited by production capacity to support Falcon Heavy missions, as only the center core requires significant unique manufacturing. The side boosters are effectively the same as the first stage of Falcon 9, with the addition of a nose cap on top. So are you guys enjoying the video? We've discussed the past of the Falcon Heavy and why it was discontinued, but what lies ahead in the future for the world's most powerful operational rocket? Do you have the answer to this? So while you think, do subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to receive instant notification about all our future videos. After a long gap, SpaceX has multiple Falcon Heavy missions planned for 2022 that'll all lift off from historic Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The most exciting mission to look forward to will occur in August 2022. SpaceX Falcon Heavy will launch NASA's Psyche spacecraft on a robotic mission to explore a 140-mile-wide metal-rich asteroid called 16 Psyche. Falcon Heavy will launch NASA Psyche. For the mission, for which NASA requires the highest level of launch vehicle reliability, will study a metal asteroid between Mars and Jupiter to help humanity better understand the formation of our solar system's planets, SpaceX stated. NASA is paying the company around $117 million for launch services and other mission-related costs. SpaceX Falcon Heavy will also conduct national security missions for the U.S. Space Force. SpaceX initially aimed to launch a Falcon Heavy flight for the USSF last year. However, U.S. military representatives said that the mission has been delayed until 2022 due to payload readiness. The mission, known as USS F-44, will deploy a pair of spacecraft directly into geosynchronous orbit, the military's Tetra-1 satellite and the other as a classified payload. The company targets to launch USS F-44 during the first half of 2022. Falcon Heavy will also launch the USS F-52, which will deploy an undisclosed payload during the second quarter of 2022. The government pays SpaceX over $130 million per Falcon Heavy flight to conduct each national security mission. The military might also decide to launch the USS F-67 mission atop a Falcon Heavy rocket before this year ends. It will likely have a higher price tag because it'll still require new infrastructure. SpaceX agreed to build a vertical integration building and an increased rocket fairing size for future U.S. military missions launched from the Florida Space Coast. The recent Falcon Heavy launch from Cape Canaveral has laid down the foundations for future missions and revived a rocket program many thought to be dead. How sustainable this revival turns out to be, however, remains to be seen. So are you excited to see the SpaceX Falcon Heavy reawaken and join the fleet aimed for the stars? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to watch more of our amazing videos, then stay tuned.